Hey, how are you? This is Rabbi Bregman, and this is episode 4 of the AskRabbiB series. Thank you to everybody who's been submitting questions so far. It's been going great. Really appreciate all the warm feedback and the questions coming in. For those of you who said, yeah, I want to be part of the AskRabbiB series, but then you're not submitting a selfie video to me, and there's ways to reach me, but instead you're emailing me the questions, that doesn't count. I'm not going to do it unless you participate. You got to come on camera with me, and we'll make it a lot of fun, okay? So today's question comes from Dina in Cleveland, Ohio. Turn it over to you, Dina. What's your question?
Hi, Rabbi Bregman. My name is Dina, and my question is coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio. I watched one of your videos online, and you spoke about the difference between being an easy grader versus a hard grader when it comes to judging other people. And my question for you is, if you tend to be a harder grader, how do you make that change within yourself to become an easier grader and make your life and their life easier? I appreciate your help and your advice.
Okay, Dina, that was an excellent question. I'm very glad you asked it. It's one of very broad applicability, and what I want to share over with you, I think, can benefit a lot of people. So first of all, let me take a moment and review our starting point. What happens is by now I have hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel, and sometimes people will submit a question and they're referring to something I said that was about this much time in a video a year and a half ago. They don't have the starting point. So when we're talking about easy grader, tough grader, and things like that, here's what I was talking about just to catch everybody up. In life, we probably remember back in school, we had two kinds of graders. Some teachers we had would give partial credit. Let's say you had to come up with an answer on an essay, and you were pretty close, but you missed a little bit, maybe the wrong year, you had the name of the wrong leader. I think I once did this back in school. I remember Pizarro was with the Incas in Peru, and I think it was Cortez was with the maybe Aztecs in Mexico, something like that. But I maybe got the countries wrong or something like that. I remember this back from history growing up. What happens if you have an easy teacher who's an easy grader? They extend you partial credit. They say, look, Bregman, Schwartz, Dina, Rachel, they knew what they were talking about pretty much. They were just a little bit off. So we're going to give them most of the credit, okay? And then you had that, instead of an easy grader, you had hard graders. You remember those? We don't like those. Hard graders say, no, unless you got it 100% right, I'm giving you no credit at all. Either you got Pizarro with the Incas in Peru and Cortez with the Aztecs in Mexico, or you got nothing. Either you got both or you got nothing. Really surprised that I remember that. I didn't prepare that. This is just coming out of my mouth. Maybe 6th grade history as I'm filming the video. Anyway, so there's easy graders and hard graders. So the starting point is when you're dealing with people in life, and this is what I try to do, and I think the Torah would advocate this position to a large degree. Yeah, you want to be a hard grader on yourself in as much as that you try your best to bring out your potential, and you expect of yourself to put forth your best in how you treat people and your service of God and everything else and how you do the commandments. Sure, you want to be a hard grader in that respect. If you're going to be hard, be on yourself. But in terms of everybody else, you'll get along a lot better in marriage, in relationships, in a lot of different things in spheres in life if you'll be an easy grader. So if your wife makes you dinner, gentlemen, and she burns it a little bit, be an easy grader, thank her for what she has done for you or your husband, etc. Recognize what has been done and not just what is missing, okay? Ad kan, in Hebrew, that means up to here. That's easy grader, hard grader, partial credit. So the question is, how do we get there? How do we work towards that? And how do we become the kind of people who do that, okay? So a couple tips for you that might be practical and helpful. Number one, I want you to understand we live on a broken planet. What do I mean, a broken planet? Of 7 billion people on the planet, I would say about 6.9 million or something like that have at least one major issue, if not multiple. Maybe me included. I don't know. You can form your own opinion. But we live on a broken planet. I'm just, by the way, if you see my eyes moving from the camera, on the other side of the camera, my iPhone is my street. And a lot of people seem to be coming home for the day now, and they're looking in the windows like, why is Bregman yapping out the window? Looks like I'm talking to myself from their point of view. Anyway, I'm not. Hi, guys. I'm good. Don't worry. No need to call the county. I'm fine. Bye. Anyway, what am I saying? We live on a broken planet. When you live on a broken planet, look, you have to realize that if you expect everybody to be super, 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 super amazing, high, unbelievable in what they deliver and bring to the table, I'm being honest with you, you're going to be sitting alone on Saturday night, at your Shabbat table, at your birthday party. You're going to be sitting alone in life because the world is made up of broken people with one or more major issues or shortcomings. So bear this in mind. It's just practical to be an easy grader, because if you're too tough in how you look at everybody, you're not going to have a love life, you're not going to have friends, you're not going to have anybody want to deal with you. So it's practical. We live on a broken planet. Another part of being practical, this is just to motivate you to be an easy grader, whether Dina or anybody else. Realize that you also get more of what you want in life when you're easy on how you grade people. Now, I'm not saying don't have expectations and how things are supposed to be, but if you're not a little bit of an easy grader, at least somewhat, I want you to understand you're not going to get what you want. Look, bluntly, I'll tell you, nobody likes criticism. Almost everybody wilts like a flower, like a dying flower. Almost everybody wilts in the face of stinging criticism, and people like to be praised. So in general, it's a lot more practical to get even what you want in life if you recognize the good somebody has done, praise them for it, point it out, and then try to gently nudge them to do even better the next time. They'll want to. But if you come at them from the perspective of negativity and seeing what's missing instead of what's already there, you're not going to get what you want. So it's not practical, So it's more practical to be an easy grader and chill out in how you evaluate and deal with people. I could also tell you to motivate you to do the right thing. And remember that when you grade easily, you overlook, you forgive, you give credit for what's there, and you let things slide. A lot of times in your personal dealings, you are fulfilling a mitzvah when you do so. One of the 613 commandments of the Torah is to emulate and imitate the midos, the character traits of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of God. Okay? It's one of the 613 commandments in the Torah. So when just as God is merciful, we act merciful. Just as God is kind, we have to act kind. And whenever we act in a way that is imitative of how our Creator, Hashem, acts, we ourselves are fulfilling a mitzvah. Well, we know it says in Tehillim, in the book of Psalms that King David wrote, about Hashem, it says, Im avanois tishmarka mi yamoid. That we say about God, Im avanois tishmarka. If you would remember and not overlook sins, miyamoid, who would be left standing? Im avanois tishmarka. If God would cause the sins and the shortcomings we have to endure and all are wrong, miyamoid, who would be left standing at the time of judgment? Almost knocked over my water bottle from down here. Better cap it. Okay? One of my kids is watching me thinking Abba's lost his mind. But he hasn't. This is what I'm like all the time. So what am I trying to say? So when you are able to be an easier grader, overlook people's shortcomings, chill out in how you view them, understand that you're getting a mitzvah and you're really basically doing what God does. I would also tell you that it also boils down to something the Torah calls an ayin toiv. An ayin means an eye. Eyes are einayim. One eye is ayin. Toiv means good. There's an midah, an attribute called having a good eye. The extent to which, I would tell you, Dina, or anybody else, that you can develop an ayin toiv, a good eye, it becomes so much easier to get along with people. One thing that I could tell you I am good at in this world is to see the good in people. Look, I'm not dumb, I'm not simple, I'm not stupid. I see where people mess up, where they're wrong. I see all kinds of shortcomings in people. But you know what? I'm able to spot the good that they do have, that they do, that they bring to the table. I could see it, and I could take that nakuda in Hebrew, that point of good, and recognize it and see it and build off that to build people to become the best version of themselves that they can. I'm a flawed person. Every person in the world is imperfect and has some flaws, but I do that with myself. I try to take the good in me and build on it and build off it. I saw you run. I saw what you're doing. Okay, so what's my point? So this is part of having an ayin toiv, and what I'm going to suggest to you to work yourself in this area is to try to develop this trait, to recognize the good that you see around you and in people, take that kernel of good and use that as a base to build up. Do it for yourself, and do it with other people. That'll make it a lot easier to get along with them. And I'll just leave you with this final little snippet. And that is, let's say I'm wearing right now one of my favorite 10 hoodies. I probably have like 10 hoodies that when I'm traveling or working from home, I just wear on rotation. My wife does laundry almost every day, and I just like it, you know? I'm a Jew. I got my strings up here. I got my strings from down here, the tzitzit strings. We're good, you know? I got my strings. So let's say I'm wearing my hoodie, and right now it's immaculate, I promise you. But let's say it had a spot on it. So I tell you, hey, what do you see? You'd say, I'm kind of looking okay, right? joking, trying to make you laugh. Let's say I came here and I had a spot on my hoodie. I said, what do you say? You say, oh, I see a spot. So, whoa, what about all the other cloth and everything else that's perfectly clean? But what would happen, the way human beings are, is you see the spot. You're focusing on the spot. And what I'm trying to tell you is to develop an ayin toiv. It's not to ignore the spot, but when I say, what do you see? The real truth answer should be, I see a hoodie that's 99.999% clean. You look very comfortable. That happens to have one little spot. When you can learn to see people and relate to people in that way, you will be in very good shape in terms of becoming an easier grader and making everybody's lives fantastic around you. Anyway, this is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman of the Jewish Executive Learning Network and BregmanSuccess.com. This is a wrap now for the 4th installment in the AskRabbiB series with the hashtag in front. If you'd like to submit a question, good way to start the dialogue, if I want to take this question for a video answer, is reach out to me on Facebook, facebook.com/Rabbi Bregman. I will probably post video, put it over here, boop, okay, and we'll enjoy that. Have a great day. Thank you, Dina, for your question. I hope this helped, and I wish all of you a lot of success in seeing all the clean around you and not noticing the spot so much, or only after you saw all the good stuff. Okay, hope this helped. Bye-bye.